Hey there, it's Jenny, and I am back to share this week with you in my Plum paper planner. This one is the same size as a classic Happy Planner, and we are going to be using stickers and die cuts from a Melancholy Moose, plus a few other items as well. But these are the die cuts from a Melancholy Moose, and I thought that I would just lay them out so we could see them and get a good idea of what we wanted to do. Now, I am going to use some stickers from this great shop of a friend of mine called Planning from A to Z. She's got some really fun ink splatter and alcohol ink stickers, and they are perfect for layering. So I'm really excited about that. And we're going to do the layering with the stickers and the die cut. So I first laid down the lavender alcohol ink and then the Tri-Wizards cup or the chalice, whichever. Not going to get too into it, and then Harry, I have trimmed off one side of him because I wanted it to sit flush with the edge of Wednesday. So obviously I could have left it whole and placed it more in the middle, but I really wanted it to hug that edge. Now I'm going to do a similar thing with the layering over on the right hand side, except for I am going to layer on top of the alcohol ink the diadem and the locket. If you're not a Harry Potter fan, I'm sorry. I apologize. I've got nothing else. But so anyway, I am going to start doing the things that I always do each week, which is planning with both stickers and then also writing directly on the page. Now I will do the typical what I do, which is alternating between the two, but for now I'm just starting out, and it's really fairly random how I place the initial plans, because I feel like, I don't know, I really just don't want to think about it that much at the beginning. I want to see it as the days unfold, if that makes sense. So I just go ahead and I do them wherever the mood strikes at the time. So that's how I start with the week how we're looking at the week in advance. Now, some of these quarter box stickers, or whatever you want to call them, are so cool because they've got some of the images on the stickers as well. And I am using the mild liners as I do every week. I do have one Stabilo highlighter that I use a lot. You guys see that, the blush pink. But otherwise, the rest of them are all of the mild liners. And they just really have been really great for me. The range of colors works well. They don't really have any bleeding issues, and they're just very pleasant in terms of color. And so I like those a lot. Now I'm just finishing up adding that through. And so the whole point of this is at the end of the week, it will be full and feel really, really magical in Harry Potter. But for now, I get it. It's a little bit sparse and not well filled out. And by not well filled out, I mean like, okay, there's not a ton of stuff going on or anything like that. But that's part of the charm as far as I'm concerned. It's meant to be a little bit more like this at the beginning because of the way that we do this, the plan as I go, right? So I add the plans, the future planning, if you will, and then each day go through and write down the things as they happen, and that's where we're at. So on top of that box sticker, I added the writing directly on the page and then another box sticker because I do really prefer the alternation. However, that doesn't always happen. But today I'm also adding one of these. These are the cutest little stickers from Alicia Michelle, and they have different images and text and things like that on them. And like the Harry Potter die cut, I trimmed one of the edges so it could sit flush on top of that circle. I just really like the way that that looks. There's no specific reason to do that or anything. It's not like, oh, it's better design if you do this. I like it. I think it looks good, and I don't always do it because I think leaving the full circle with layering and all kinds of different things, it works out great. But for this one, I wanted it to have that solid edge. I'm also going back and adding a few of the decorative icons as well, just to help some of those activities stand out. It makes them just so much cuter, right? All right, so now I did leave a little bit of space for some stamping. Now these are some older stamps. I don't even know if she still carries them in her shop. I will check and see. Studio L2E. And they are just the cutest little Harry Potter set, and I've had them for several years. I mean, seriously, like probably 2017, 18, I don't know. I mean, definitely several years. And I just wanted to fill that space. And so that's where the book and then that Wizard Life stamp come in. And then on Tuesday, it's kind of the same thing. I have this really big spot that I don't have a lot of things to write down. And that happens, right? We have days that there's just not as much to take note of. So I'm adding this full box sticker. It's like Harry Potter's sort of his chest, like where you can see the robes and the tie, or the scarf, if you will. And I've just stamped that really pretty aqua. And then below, a little quote from Luna Lovegood. And side note, Luna is my favorite Harry Potter character. I love her. And not because she's weird and unique, but just because she is unafraid of being who she is. So then now on Wednesday, I don't have a ton more to add. And so that's one of those things where using some more decorative lettering, not brush lettering, but decorative lettering that anybody can do, takes up a little bit of room and then looks really cute too. So I like to do that. Now, each week, my goal is not that, oh my gosh, I love each thing as I place it, where I place it, when I place it. The goal is that at the end of the week, I love the whole week, or at least I like it, right? I mean, not every week is going to be my favorite, but at least I like the whole week as it came together as a whole. And so that might mean there might be parts of it that kind of make me cringe and I'm not really that into it. But most of the time, I don't have too many of those spots. So I try to go with the flow and remember the bigger picture. So I've added the snake at the top of Thursday, and I wanted to, again, there wasn't a whole lot going on this week during the week, and so I didn't have as much to keep track of. So I added the snake, and then I am adding a couple of the circles as layering and creating a little visual triangle right there with that cluster. Do you see it? I love it. I think it's so cool. And then we're adding more stamps as well, and that is the Dobby, the clothesline with Dobby socks hanging off of it. So cute. Now, for stamping, if you're new, you can buy clear stamps. You want to make sure that they're photopolymer, and really honestly, you want them to be made in the United States. This is one of those things that photopolymer stamps are a much higher quality and you'll get a much better impression. You place the flat, smooth side on a clear acrylic block. You tap it in your ink pad a couple of times and then press down with even, firm pressure onto your paper. You don't want to go too crazy. You don't want to really smash it down because that won't be good either. And you want to make sure you get pressure on the whole block. And stamping it's really fun. It's super creative. And I love adding these little bits and pieces. You can see that stamp set, how cute it is, to this layout and any of the rest of them as well. There are a wide variety of shops that I get my icons from. In all honesty, a lot of times it's kind of random. Like I'll just see a certain one in a shop and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I could totally use that. And sometimes it's a little bit more pointed. I buy quite a few icons from Sunshine Sticker Co. when she has the ones that I need available. She doesn't always have them, like everything I could possibly ever need, but she has a lot of them. And they're inexpensive. They are a good size sheet of them and has a wide variety of the icons. But like I said, she doesn't have everything, so I have to get some different ones from different places. Like the poker one that I use sometimes for my husband playing poker, I had to get that off of a shop from Etsy. Things like that, because she doesn't have absolutely everything. But she does have a lot, and I'm really grateful for that because they are well priced. She ships quick. And who doesn't love those two things? Am I right? All right, so we are finishing up. We are in the weekend now, and I am just continuing to add the plans from the weekend using the mild liner, writing directly on the page, and then also writing with the stickers. Now you can see here we're also going to add a little stamped checklist right there. I don't often use just like one single checklist. like bullet point. I have a checklist from the Ton stamps that I use a lot. I will link that up below. And I will just, if I need 2, I will just put ink on 2 of the dots and then do it. I find that if I do singular ones, they just don't end up spaced right or something like that. And so it's really more trouble than it's worth. It's just easier to ink up 2 of the spots on the one that has 5 or 6, if that makes sense. Now we're just continuing to build on the last day of the weekend, and we have a couple of things to fill in. You can see I wrote up there where my husband went golfing, and then I'm writing down here in the bottom in a box, and also adding just the tiniest bit of, I put it underneath the diadem die cut right there and added the text as well. But then, there's a couple more open spots, so we need to go ahead and ink up my stamps and get that down. That is it for this week. Thanks so much for stopping by and watching. I really do appreciate it. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment box below, and I'll do my best to get back to you. Thanks so much, and make it a great day.